Hello everyone, how are we all? I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to my channel and to a video that I mentioned I was going to film in a few vlogs back, and a lot of you really recommended and requested some air fryer recipes, as you can tell by the title. So I recently got an air fryer and I love it. It's genuinely probably one of my favourite kitchen gadgets that I've ever owned. That was very kindly gifted. I'll leave a link down below, I'm going to show it in a second. You don't need an air fryer to do these recipes at all. You can do them in a conventional oven if you prefer, if you actually don't have an air fryer. But I'm not just saying that these are brilliant bits of kit. They save so much time preheating your oven. They cook things a lot quicker with less oil, so it's a win-win all around. So anyway, in this video I'm going to be doing 5 air fryer recipes you can try at home. Some of them are going to be meals, some of them are going to be more like snacks. So yeah, if you're in the mood for that, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe if you are new here. I post lots of food videos and all that kind of good stuff. Let's get into the video. So this is the air fryer we use, and it's from Instant Vortex. It's the Instant Vortex Plus. It's brilliant because it has the option to air fry, roast, grill. You can also dehydrate, reheat, and bake. So recipe number 1 is going to be something I've made in videos before, but it's a classic and I couldn't not include it in this. It's going to be my panko portobello mushroom burger with crispy caramelized onions, lovely burger sauce, and french fries. So here's what you need. Okay, so for these crispy portobello panko breadcrumb burgers, you're obviously going to need portobello mushrooms. These ones are actually really small. Definitely get the larger ones if you can, but these are going to be absolutely fine. I'm just going to do 2 to stack them up. For the breadcrumbs, you're going to need flour. You're also going to need breadcrumbs. These are panko breadcrumbs. I much prefer to use these because they go super crispy. And then you're also going to need an egg. We're going to soften some onions down, so I've got 1 white onion. Then we're going to do a cheesy topping with some light mozzarella. This is going to go super oozy once it's melted. And then for the seasoning for the breadcrumb, we've got smoked paprika, we've got onion salt, and we have garlic granules. And then we're also going to do some lettuce in there as well. And then sauces, we're going to do some chili Tabasco mayo and some chunky burger sauce. All the ingredients will be linked down below. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so you first want to start by preheating your air fryer to around, I'd say 180 degrees. You don't want this to be too hot. And then you want to start by making your panel, which is like a panel breadcrumb. So you add flour to a bowl along with these spices. Full quantities will be linked down below. You also need to beat an egg and add some panko breadcrumbs to a bowl. So you've got your flour, your egg, and your breadcrumbs. And it needs to be in this order. So you first dip your mushrooms in the plain flour and just tap off any excess. Then drop it into the egg wash. Keep 1 hand for the egg and 1 hand for the dry ingredients, otherwise you don't end up breadcrumb in your hand. Dip it in the breadcrumbs and just make sure it's evenly coated. Just roll it around in there and pop it into your preheated air fryer basket. And I'll cook these for around 15 minutes. In the meantime, I just prep some onions. These are what I call my jammy onions. So I just use a white onion and just soften them down in a frying pan for around 5-6 minutes until they're nice and golden brown, and then add some caster sugar and they just go so nice and crispy. They are delicious. I also toast some brioche burger buns. I did some fries and some onion rings with these guys and they were really good. And towards the last 2 to 3 minutes of cooking, I added some mozzarella just to make it go nice and oozy. And then I just added some burger sauce and then some iceberg lettuce. In the meantime, it was all cooked in there, so I just assembled the burger. So I got the portobello mushroom burger, topped it with the lovely jammy onions, some pickles, and then popped the lid on, and that was it. These are so easy and really delicious. Okay, so recipe number 2 is going to be some air fryer pizzas. Now, the air fryer has the bake function, but of course because the heat comes from the bottom and the top, you're going to get a crispy pizza in an air fryer in like no time at all. Let me show you the ingredients. Okay, so you can of course buy pre-made pizza dough if you want to. I'm going to be making my own using some strong white bread flour, semolina, sugar, yeast, and salt. But like I say, you can buy it just to speed this along. I've also got a delicious pizza sauce. This is the Mutti Parma pizza sauce. It's like a classic tomato sauce. It's delish. I've got some mozzarella. I've got some fresh basil going on, which just smells amazing, and a little bit of veggie parmesan to go around the crust. Right, let's get into it. So you can start by making your pizza bread dough. So you need to weigh out your flour and add your fast action easy bake yeast, also some salt, sugar, and warm water, and bring all that together until it forms your dough. Again, full quantities will be linked down below, and you just want to knead that on a floured work surface until it starts to get really elastic and the gluten really develops in the dough. It's going to take around 10 minutes. If you do have a stand mixer, absolutely use it, but this is kind of the end result. You want it to be nice and springy. When you pop your finger in, it should just spring back. cover it very loosely in oiled cling film and leave it to at least proof around half an hour. The longer you leave it, the better it'll be. After that, you can just roll it out on a floured work surface. I divided my dough into 2 and I made 2 really thin pizzas, but of course you can make as many as you'd like. Just use the quantities linked below. I just rolled it out and then stretched it with my hands, and then I preheated the air fryer. I put it on bake this time, and I popped the temperature quite high because you want it to be nice and golden and crispy underneath. I topped it with some of that delicious pizza sauce. I also put the dough onto the air fryer tray. I think it's easier to pop it into the air fryer. I topped it with some fresh mozzarella, some veggie parmesan, and a little drizzle of garlic oil, and popped it into the air fryer basket and baked it for around 10 minutes. You can bake it for longer if you'd like, but I found that was a sweet spot for my machine. I just turned that out onto a wooden board and finished it off with some fresh basil and some extra garlic oil, and just cut it up, and honestly, delicious. Probably one of the nicest pizzas I've ever had, much better than doing it in the oven. Okay, so it's the third recipe, and this one is another classic. I've made this quite a few times in videos before, but I thought I'd pop it in this one because they taste extra delicious in an air fryer. These are my buffalo cauliflower wings with a hot, spicy sriracha dipping sauce. Oh my god, they're so good. Let me show you the ingredients. So it might look like a lot of ingredients, but a lot of it is dry stored goods. Of course, you're gonna need a cauliflower. This size cauliflower will probably serve like 2 people. If you need to serve more people, by all means, you can get a bigger cauliflower. You're also going to need some oat milk, salt and pepper, some kind of hot spicy sauce. I've got a sriracha here, but I have one that I need to use up as well from Asda behind. Of course, you can make your own ranch sauce if you want to make this completely vegan. This one's Newman's Own, and I absolutely love it. It's delicious. Spices, you're going to need paprika, onion salt, garlic granules, and cumin. You're going to need some plain flour, some panko breadcrumbs, and some unsalted butter. Okay, so I started by removing the stalks of the cauliflower. You can actually keep these if you'd like, and just broke it up into chunks. I added all of the seasonings into the flour. Again, all will be linked down below, and just whisk that together. I added a splash of milk. You don't have to use oat milk, because this is what we had in the fridge. And just stir all that together, and then I also added some panko breadcrumbs into another bowl. So then what you want to do is dip your cauliflower florets into the batter and then into the breadcrumbs, tap off any excess, and then just pop them on a plate. I preheated my air fryer and then just banged them straight in. I put them on air fry for around 20 minutes at 200 degrees, and I found that they got really, really nice and crispy after about 15. And then I just made the hot sauce, which is just melted butter and sriracha in a pan until it all kind of comes together. Once they've got around 10 minutes left of cooking, just give them a little jiggle, empty them into a bowl, and pour that delicious buttery hot sauce over them, making sure that they're beautifully coated. I did this in a bowl just to keep the air fryer nice and clean, and then just pop them back into the air fryer basket to crisp off for around 10 more minutes. Again, cooking times may vary. In the meantime, I just chopped up some chives and just gave those a little clunk through with my knife, and then the wings were ready to go. I just popped the ranch sauce on the side as like a dip, finished it off with the chives, and honestly, these are ridiculous. They are so tasty. You've got to give them a go. So it's recipe number 4 of these air fryer meals, and I'm going to be doing another classic that I've made a couple of times, but is so delicious. These are going to be my version of onion bhajis in a burger. Delish. Let me show you the ingredients. Okay, so again, quite a few ingredients, but all relatively easy to get a hold of. You're going to need 1 red onion and 1 white onion. You can do either or both. Some ginger, chili. We're going to make a little raita with some natural yogurt and some cucumber. We're also going to need some brioche bread buns, some poppadoms, mango chutney. You can do pickles or pickled cucumber, depending on what you fancy. Corn flour, plain flour, and then for the spices, we're going to need garam masala, turmeric, cumin, and coriander leaf. So to start off your bhaji burgers, I just halved a red onion and then just finely sliced that up with my knife. You don't have to be too fine, but just kind of that they're all uniform shapes and sizes is a good sweet spot. Add them into a large bowl and just toss them together. Then I de-seeded 1 whole red chili and just finely sliced that up. And I also did the same with some root ginger, just remove the skin and then finely slice that up too. The finer the better with the ginger. And added that into the onions and stirred all that together. Now it's time for the spices. So I added some garam masala, some cumin. I also added in some turmeric and some coriander leaf into the flour. Now this is plain flour. Ideally you'd use the Indian flour that I've linked down below, but we didn't have any, so we just used plain flour and mixed it with water to form like a batter around the onions. You want it to be quite thick, and this is kind of like the consistency you're looking for. Then I preheated the air fryer, popped it on air fry, and I popped the temperature up to 200 degrees. And then I just spooned some of the onion mix into a ramekin. I just found it easier to transfer it into the air fryer basket. I sprayed it with 1 to 2 sprays of fry light just to stop them sticking. Again, this was completely optional, but it did actually help them in the long run, even though this air fryer is non-stick. And I fried it for around 20 minutes. Then I just whipped up a quick raita. If you are making a raita, I would suggest maybe giving the cucumber a bit of a squeeze just to get rid of the excess water, but not essential, but it definitely does help. Stirred all that together with some natural yogurt, and then it was literally ready to assemble. I did give the onion bhajis a bit of a flip around halfway through cooking just to make sure that they crisped up on both sides, but this air fryer is brilliant and it literally did that in seconds. I toasted the brioche buns under the grill, and by that time the onion bhajis were done, and it was literally just a case of assembling. So these are honestly so crispy. So the raita on the bottom of the brioche bun is gorgeous. You can of course have these on their own, but I like them with poppadoms. Pop in the onion bhaji and then just top it with some deliciously sweet and sour mango chutney, more poppadoms, and then a little bit more raita on top of the burger bun. And that's it. That's your onion bhaji burgers. They are delicious. Honestly, one of the favorite things I've done in this video. They were so good. Okay, so it's the 5th and final recipe in this video, and this one again is such a classic. These are my veggie, mushroom and chutney sausage rolls done in the air fryer. So let me show you the ingredients. Okay, so ingredients are relatively simple. Again, if you do eat meat, you can do traditional meat sausages. I'm using the Richmond meat-free sausages because I really enjoy the taste of these. You need some salt and pepper, an egg to do the egg wash. You also need some chestnut mushrooms. This, which is some gorgeous caramelized red onion chutney. We've also got some cheddar cheese, some puff pastry. This is just roll. You can make your own puff pastry, but it takes a bit of time, and this just speeds along the process. And some parmesan to go on top. So we've either got regular grana padano or this one, which is Via Life vegetarian parmesan. Right. Okay, so I started off by grating some chestnut mushrooms. I only used about 5 in total. You don't need a lot. It depends on how many sausage rolls you make. And then I grabbed my meat-free sausages and just removed the outer skin. Obviously, this isn't real skin, but it just doesn't really add to the texture, so I just removed it. And then in a large bowl, I added the grated mushrooms. I also grated in some cheddar cheese as well. Use whatever cheddar cheese or regular cheese you'd like. And then added that in with the sausages. I added around 2 tablespoons of the caramelized onion chutney and just forked all that together until it had all combined. I added in some salt and some pepper, and then on a lightly floured work surface I just tipped out the puff pastry and rolled that out with a rolling pin until it was at the desired thickness. You want it to be rectangular. Then using a sharp knife I just halved the pastry and divided up the sausage mixture between the 2 pieces of pastry. Be careful not to overfill these guys, it's so easy to do that. And then I just did a really simple egg wash, just cracked that into a ramekin using a pastry brush and just brushed around the outsides, and that acts as a glue for when the pastry rolls up. So just making sure you liberally coat the sides and just roll it up and itself, really encasing that filling. You don't want it to pop out in the air fryer. And then give the tops a nice little brush with egg wash as well. And with a sharp knife, just chop up your sausage rolls. I do quite large ones because I prefer them to be slightly larger, but it's completely up to you. Again, I think I made 8 of these in total. Actually, I made 10, that's a complete lie. I just topped them with some fresh parmesan. This just gives it a gorgeous taste. And then I popped the air fryer on bake. I turned the temperature down to around 180 degrees. And I actually cooked these in batches. I did them in 6 and then 4 just because my air fryer is not huge. But of course, if you've got a bigger one, then you can do that. And then this is how they turned out. They were deliciously golden and so good. I just served them with a little bit of ketchup on the side because I prefer it with ketchup. And that's it. Those are the easy, cheesy veggie sausage rolls. So that's it guys, I really hope you've enjoyed these 5 super easy air fryer recipes. Let me know if you're going to try them at home, and if you have an air fryer and any recipes you like to do as well, I'd really love to hear them. Thank you so much for watching. If you could give it a like and subscribe, that would be amazing, and I'll catch you all very soon. Bye for now.